All right. What is going on YouTube? Okay, my name's Shawn. I just moved to Ottawa. I don't have much going for me here, but that doesn't mean I can't make something of it. I recently moved from North Bay, Ontario because I felt like my life was at a standstill. I didn't really feel like what I wanted to do with my life was going to happen if I stayed there any longer. So I made an impulse decision to come live with my brother in the city. But the story is a little bit deeper than what I'm explaining. This will be my first YouTube video ever on my channel, so I thought it would be a good chance to introduce myself. My name's Shawn Turcotte. I have 14 brothers and sisters, all biological. It's pretty crazy. Growing up it was the Wild West. It was incredible. Like, there wasn't a day that I couldn't, or that I would be allowed to watch the TV without my brothers taking the remotes, or getting beat up because I stole my sister's candy from her room. And the stories go on, and I'll gladly share all these stories as time goes on. But for now, I'll just leave it at, I have a big family. And another thing about myself is I've had 2 open heart surgeries, 2 that saved my life. And I like to think more recently, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. I always struggled with finding purpose because I was never good at school. And all my friends were so smart and intelligent, and I always felt like I couldn't connect with them on that same level. I was never a A+ student. I struggled to even get 70s because my brain wasn't wired the same as everyone else. I had too much that I was thinking of all the time about why am I here? What purpose does living hold? And the older I got, the more I started to realize the impact that I can have on the world by just being me, by sharing the life that I've lived, and I want to do good in this world. And this is the only way I think I can achieve that goal. I've never been somebody that can excel in school, and yet I still decided to make another impulse decision when I was 18 to go to college. Just like everyone else, it was the wave, it was what to do. And as time went on, while I was in college, it was more relevant that I wasn't ever gonna go down a career path that school was gonna be a part of. And as the semester went on, I began to demotivate myself. I never smoked or drank in high school. I was a very, very Christian kid growing up. My family, my mom and dad are very Christian parents that raised us to be Christian. And I started to I developed my relationship with God at a young age. And where I'm at now compared to then isn't anything extraordinary. It never seems to be. I'm at a point now in my life where I'm done running from what I want to do. I've tried other routes. I've lived my life in a way that felt like I was doing the right thing, and yet success never came my way. I'm 20 years old now, and I still feel that same scaredness. I'm scared. I have debt. I feel like purpose is what I long for. And I don't know if this is my purpose. I don't know what my future holds, but what I do know is that I love to talk. If there was anything I could do with my life, if there was anything that I'd really feel passionate about, it would be using this channel to make the world a better place. That's been said before, but I think it's all about the way you go about it. Not all good comes from raising money. Sometimes it's about raising spirits and letting people know that they're not the only ones that feel like they're lacking purpose. I want to feel like I'm somewhere I want to be, but I know that it'll take a lot of effort. I'm scared. I really struggle with finding a sense of worth, because when I had my second open heart surgery at 16, I never really thought about it much because I was so young and all I cared about was Warzone and Fortnite. So I literally brought my console as soon as I could into my ICU room just so I could play the game, and I couldn't even talk. There was tubes down my throat, tubes going into my stomach, and all I cared about was playing Resurgence with the boys. So that's where my heart was. But as I've grown older, I've started to think more about the time I have on Earth. Because my heart is, I like to think, pretty special. Because it's not just mine, I'm living for two. A boy somewhere in this world that was compatible and the same age, the same weight, the same height. He died so I could live. He saved me. And the longer I feel like I'm not doing anything with my life, the more I feel like I'm failing him. And I'm failing my dad. I love my dad. Always have. He's my hero. The person I want to make the most proud. And he's getting old. I feel like if I don't decide what I want to do now, I'm never going to get to show my dad how much I wanted to succeed for him. Every time I see him now, I get so, I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like this energy. I feel like every time I'm with him, it's a moment that I feel like time stands still. He's 68, he's 67, turning 68 this year. And I'm worried that if I don't find what I want to do now, that by the time I have kids or have a family for myself, I won't get to show how amazing my dad was. I feel like I'm at a race with time. And I'm losing. I'm tired of losing. I just want to feel like I'm important. Like I'm not a background character. And I want to show my journey. I want to show my journey to you guys because I really care. I care so much about so many things, and I know so many other people in this world feel the same way. They feel like the world is so special, and it feels like that joy is being stripped from us. There's so much pain and suffering in this world, and if there's one way, the one way I can really make a difference, it's this. I want to make a difference. And what better way than creating a platform for people that want to experience the world in its entirety. I want to see the world. I've never left Ontario. I don't even have my passport. We were too poor to travel. Plus, I couldn't even imagine how expensive the tickets would be. Maybe a $30,000 trip just to bring us to Toronto. So, the trips were out of the question as a kid. And now that I'm 20, I really, really want to see the world. It's something I want to do so bad. My dad went to Africa and went to Germany, and he's been around the world, and Who doesn't want to travel? Who doesn't want to see the world? But more importantly, I want to meet the people all across the world. I want to share this. I want to share the joy that other people have in their stories and just share the real world experience. I know living in Ottawa is going to be very hard. I'm starting over again, and the only experience I have is as a server. But that doesn't mean that I can't create something of myself. I'm hopeful. I feel like I can succeed. I know I can. I'll tell you guys one story before I end this. My entire life, I've always felt compelled to be an entertainer. My dad has always been the most extraordinary entertainer I know. He can play guitar, harmonica, saxophone, piano, anything. He can sing, he used to go to bars and play guitar just to make people laugh and smile because he felt that energy. I want that energy. I want to be just like my dad. When he was my age, he was in college, having the time of his life, living his early years, and once he started to have a family, and let alone the trillions of kids, I felt like there's a side to the life that my dad couldn't live out. I know he wanted to be an entertainer. And that's why I'm here. I'm his youngest son. I have 9 older brothers. And I really feel like this is my calling. It's the only thing I've always felt compelled for. So why not me? Why do I have to live thinking I can't do this? I don't know. I've waited months to make this video. I've always struggled with opening up because I've always just kept my emotions, but I've developed this really deep sense of empathy. I really love my family. I love spending time with them. I love just knowing how much I care being in their presence. And I don't feel like a lot of my family members feel that way. I'm excited, I'm hopeful, and most of all, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray for this year that I'm making the right choice, that I make good choices and develop a keen eye for doing the right thing. I'm probably gonna cut most of this out, but for anybody that's listening, thank you for looking at my first video, and I'm excited to show you my life, show you my family, my dad, and most importantly, just building a community. I really care about this, and I'm super duper excited to really give this a shot. Give it my all. I want 1 full year of commitment to this, and I just want to see how far it can take me. I know I have a good message for the world, and the only one good skill I have is my social skills, so this is where we're at. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.